I'm here at Level Up Games in Canterbury, also known as my local retro gaming store, owned by my friends Alex and Gemma. It's one of not that many in the UK actually, so I'm going to take you around, show you a few things, and also have a chat with Alex about some of our favourite games. There's a lot of memories in a store like this. Even though I was a Game Boy guy, I always had a soft spot for things like Spyro the Dragon on the PS1. Okay, so I'm here with Alex, who is the owner of the store, and the first thing that strikes me when I first come in here is, I mean, you've got games that span pretty much every generation. So, I mean, if you had to pick a favourite console or generation, I mean, what would it be? Would it be something that you had as a kid, or is it sort of changed since you've owned a store?
Mine's different from my wife's. Running this together, we've gone through all the different sort of consoles and bits and pieces.
Yeah.
If it's the Desert Island Discs question, if you could only have one console forever, what would it be?
Yeah.
Mine would be a PlayStation 1, but Gemma would have a SNES.
Why the PlayStation 1? What appeals to you on that one?
It's just the sheer range of stuff on there.
Yeah.
There's RPGs, racers, all the strange, weird games that did actually make it to these shores, not just the strange stuff from Japan.
Yeah, yeah.
There are actually a lot of bonkers games which did actually get PAL releases. It's that weird kind of gaming that I like more than the mainstream stuff.
Yeah, that was a difficult question because I've been asked it before, and I mean, my favourite console of all time was always the Game Boy, but then you're kind of like, well, playing Game Boy games on an original Game Boy isn't the best experience because the screens doesn't sort of hold up today, whereas with the Game Boy Advance SP or something it does. But one thing that I think I like about retro more than anything else is the feel of, say, the box art, having sort of a cardboard box and a manual and things. You don't sort of get those things anymore.
There's a lot more tangibility with the cardboard boxes, the manuals, the whole experience of it, the cartridges. It's a lot different than just sticking a disc in and waiting for the updates to happen.
Yeah, exactly. I think also that there's a lot of people that want to be able to just pick up a game and play it. Obviously there are deep RPGs and things that go quite far back, but with some games, a lot of the time the story was in the manual. It's not, you don't have to sit through endless cutscenes and quick time events and things. You can read the manual if you want to, or you can just pick up the game and play it.
Yeah.
I don't think it's just a nostalgia thing. I think a lot of the games are just as playable today as they were back then.
Yeah, I mean that's the thing, that they've got that replay value. It is pick up and play. You don't need like a million button controller. You know, Sonic, one button jump. It's something simple. Everyone can engage with it. And with our arcade machines, Pac-Man, it's just directions. You don't even need to worry about it.
Yeah.
That gets so much love from so many different people. So we've got the Miss Pac-Man machine. Quite lucky there, because Pac-Man, the original one, if you watched it for long enough, it goes through on rails.
Yeah.
So you could learn their patterns.
Pick up the patterns, yeah.
Miss Pac-Man is a bit more advanced than that. They will follow you. I'm just looking at the art on the side of the cabinet there as well. It's just like a dreadful example of gender stereotyping on the game.
I'm telling you, happiness is a box of Game Boy manuals. I always loved the manuals because it not only sort of told you the story, but it also gave you a lot of artwork for the game as well. It almost feels like it's half manual, half art book, and that's the kind of thing that you'd get as like a pre-order bonus these days. You just don't get it packed in anymore. Have you seen like a change in the kind of people that are coming in? Is it more people that are looking for that nostalgia hit, or is it young kids that are getting into retro, do you think?
It's both, actually. We get a lot of the young kids coming in. The craze for Pokemon has never really gone away, and that retro gaming feel means that people want the original Pokemon and a Game Boy Color to play it on.
Yeah.
And you can sit in the park and do that. And we've got 10-year-olds wanting that, and we've got 40-year-olds wanting that.
Yeah. And also, I mean, that's one thing with the old Pokemon games. A lot of them need, not necessarily restoring, but they need the battery changing and things. And not a lot of people, you know, even if they've got the game, it might not play anymore because of the battery. So they're probably coming in to get a copy of it with a fresh battery, and so they can start again.
Yeah, we do that. We service all the cartridges that come through if they need it. But a lot of people are sort of 20, 30, 40 plus, that they've now got kids and they want to introduce their kids to the games.
Yeah.
There's a couple of families we know all the time coming in. They don't have a modern console on purpose, so their 5 to 10-year-olds are playing Mega Drive games.
See, this is the kind of thing that I love finding in the wild. It's things like this. On the original Grand Theft Auto, it wasn't just that you got the manual as well. You also got posters in it, but also like a map of the whole of Liberty City. So it was a top-down 2D top-down game, but you got the whole map of the city with it. Vice City was the one I always remember, because you used to get a soundtrack that wasn't just the music. You also got the voices of the radio presenters from the radio stations in the game from when you get into the cars. This is probably where I do my sign-off, because typical British weather, it's been sunny all week and now there's going to be a thunderstorm, so I'll do my sign-off and get yourself down to Level Up Games in Canterbury. You may even see me there.